KUGAN, CASSIUS, IFL TV, MCK Global. We're at the MCK Global show here in Brentwood. I'm joined by Glenn McCRORY. How are you, sir?
Very good, KUGAN. Yep, great to see you as always, my friend.
Now, talk to me about Louis Isaac's performance tonight. You impressed today?
I was impressed. Yeah, he did everything that I wanted him to do. You know, he's growing in stature. He's just becoming a better fighter with every fight. We could have done with some competition, in fairness, and for me that's the sort of the last of the journeymen. You know, we want some of these undefeated kids in his division because we want to start making a name for Lewis. You know, want to get him up there, and he's a great talent, and I think he'll do really well. So watch out for him.
Now, from what you were telling me, obviously prior to this interview, is that now you're kind of taking on. You've taken on 4 fighters now. So talk to me a little bit about who you have under your wing at the moment, Glenn.
Well, to be honest, it was always going to be the stage where I wanted to sort of finish my career as a trainer, because I've analysed fights for 30 years. I was a world champion myself, so being around some of the best fighters in the world. So it was always going to happen, and now's the right time. Now's the right time to do that. I've got 4 fighters: Ant Ormsby, who's 1-0, Lewis Isaacs, who's 6-0. Jamie Bates he's a #4 kickboxer in the world. He makes his debut on the Black Flash promotion on June 7th, 8th, I think, of July 7th or 8th. So we got them, and then we're waiting any day now for my new guy I'm going to train, and that's Alex Tripanov, who's fantastic Ukrainian, one of the best amateurs in the world, and he's fought Usyk 3 times. Usyk's big mate. He's just been out training with him, sparring with him. He's a cruiserweight, so really looking forward to him to come to Newcastle and working with somebody of that caliber. But I'm enjoying it. It's great.
Seems like you're really getting back into swing. Obviously, Glenn, from when you retired, you went into punditry and kind of done the interview scene, and now you're coming back to kind of what you know best.
It's exactly, and I always wanted to leave the best to last, and that's to be where I like the most, and that's to be around the fighters, to be working with them every day, to be in the gym, and I've been around the best fighters in the world for the last 42 years. And been analysing the best fighters and watching them and learning off them and seeing what they do. So now it's my turn to pass that knowledge on, both in and out of the ring, because I think everything that could have gone wrong in my career inside the ring with management and everything happened to me. Everything that could have went wrong personally has happened to me. So I know the pitfalls. I know what they should and shouldn't do. Shouldn't do what I did. They'll be okay. So I'm really looking forward to it. And we've got some, I'm working with some really nice kids as well. I had 3 of the best Cubans in the world a few years ago who just wouldn't train. So I'll never have that again. I'll never have talent. If they don't want to work, if they don't want to put in 100% commitment, if they don't want to be world champions, if they don't want to be the best in I'm not training them. I only want to be with the best.
It's a good way to look at things, because you kind of eliminate the time wasters from those who don't.
100%. You just I haven't got time for it. I don't want to be telling somebody that they should have done what stomach exercise they do it. Get up in the morning, get out running, work hard, do your stomach exercise, and I'll show you how to box.
There we go, as clear as that. I always like to talk to you about the ever talked about heavyweight scene at the moment, and we kind of know all our current top heavyweights who they'll be fighting next. But Anthony Joshua, obviously replacement in Andy Ruiz Jr. after the situation regarding Jarrell Miller. But what do you make of Andy Ruiz Jr. as an opponent for Joshua at 6 weeks' notice?
I think it's the biggest banana skin that could possibly be out there, and I think it's a dangerous fight. AJ's finding himself in a tough place because he's on a hiding to nothing in a way, because Andy Ruiz doesn't look in great shape. He talks more about Snickers than he does about opponents, but the kid can still fight. He can still fight. He's still dangerous. He can still punch. He's a big old lump. So he's got everything gained. And pride of the nation. He's got Mexico riding. They have the ex-heavyweight champion of the world. So he's dangerous. He's very, very dangerous. And Anthony, who's a consummate professional. I'm a big fan. And I'll also be his biggest critic as well as his biggest fan. But I just hope that he can be as professional as he always is. I'm a little bit disturbed that things have gone. Everything so far has gone a bit wrong, hasn't it? Nothing's kind of worked out, and that sometimes carries on all the way to the fight. So I'm just hoping the one thing he can do is just keep his head, keep working. When everything's falling apart around him, he just keeps his head. That's the most important thing. I'm a little disturbed about his training camp in Miami Beach because, I've been in Miami Beach a few times, and although he's a consummate professional, there's a lot of distractions there. There's a lot of distractions. And you just don't want to take your eye off the ball when you're in such an important fight. When the whole eyes of the world, the whole boxing sport is looking to see if what he's like. America wants to see how good he is. So, he needs to really be on the ball.
We know also Tyson Fury, your friend Glenn, fights on the 15th of June against...
All boxers are my friends.
On the 15th of June in Las Vegas, making his Las Vegas debut against undefeated Tom Schwartz. A little bit of criticism over this opponent because we were kind of expecting the Deontay Wilder rematch to happen next. It wasn't to happen. He's fighting Schwartz kind of into his ESPN debut as well. What do you make of that fight?
Do you know, to be honest, I think that's fine. That's fine with me because, he took a really dangerous fight. I mean, he took Deontay Wilder with just two fights back out of the game after such a lot of problems. So I think, everybody expects them all to fight each other. But, when Muhammad Ali lost to Joe Frazier, I think it was another 13 fights before they fought again. So, these guys need to have fights. We need to see what the opposition is like. When you're in with a big guy like Schwartz, there's always difficulties. There's always problems. And Fury has to be exactly the same. He can't rest on his laurels. He's come out of the Wilder fight very, very good indeed. But he can't rest on that. He needs to perform really well and look for the bigger and the better fights along the line. But, I think still, he's going to go out there and entertain. But he's got to keep his mind on the ball, and he's got to, his mind on the job, and he's got to go about his work and impress again, because the eyes of the world are on our fighters. They're on the big guys. They want to see who's the best, and they want to compare them with Deontay Wilder. So I'm glad it's all. There's other fighters coming into the mix. Great to see Daniel Dubois, Gorman fight mentioned. Joe Joyce is there. There's lots of potential. Hughie Fury's still, going to come. He's such a young guy. There's future in him. So the heavyweight division, is going to pan out. The good thing is it's exciting. There's lots of fights to be made. There's, the young kids are going to come through. The win of Gorman, the win of Gordon Dubois is going to make a name for himself. So, and I think that's going to be a close fight. I think that's going to be a hard fight.
Just finally, where does Dillian Whyte fit into all this? Obviously, he has a fight with Oscar Rivas coming up July 20th, but the WBC have made it clear that they kind of want to make Fury and Dillian Whyte as kind of the mandatory to the winner of Wilder and Brazil next week. But, I mean, it's a weird situation, isn't it? Eddie Hearn saying that Tyson Fury kind of didn't take the Wilder fight, so why would he fight then an eliminator with Dillian Whyte to put himself in the position that he was kind of already in?
It doesn't really matter, but it doesn't matter what position they're in. They're all there at the top. Any fight can be made with anybody they want because they're all big names. I think this is a good fight for Dillian Whyte. Rivas again. All our guys are up at a level where these guys can win. The opponents are strong. Rivas is a good fighter, danger man. So I've got to take my hat off to Dillian Whyte for taking that. The good thing is, we don't want to see them all fight each other. Then what's next? What do we do? What do we do next year? The year after? Wait around for the next phase coming through. So it's good that we see who else is in the division, who else is challenging. That's what's always happened in the heavyweight division. Sooner or later, the fighters are going to come together, or they're going to one of these banana skins. They're going to slip on.
Glenn McCRORY, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Appreciate your time. Congratulations on your fighters win tonight, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you with all your kind of up-and-coming talents. We look forward to seeing them.
Thank you very much. Always, as always, Kugan. Great pleasure.